Hello and good morning or good day or good night, whenever it is that you're watching this video. It is currently Wednesday and I am starting a new weekly reading vlog late, as usual. I start them late, I finish them late. It's just how it goes on this channel. But it's currently Wednesday and I am in the middle of reading Oathbringer Part 2 and I'm halfway through. I read the first part of this in last week's reading vlog, so if you haven't seen that, check that out because it has probably mainly most of my thoughts in that. I am really enjoying this book though. I think it is my favourite in this series. This is from the Stormlight Archive series by Sanderson. It is the third book in this series and I think the best so far. There's one more out, I think, Rhythm of War, but it's like sorry, my memory card filled up and I want to apologise for the massive spot I have on my face. I didn't realise it's quite so obvious on the camera, but what can you do? That's just life. So yes, this is the third book in the series. It is Brandon Sanderson's biggest fantasy series. So all of his adult fantasy books are supposedly connected. They are all within the same universe or the same cosmere, as it's called, the cosmere, but they're all on different planets. So when you read them, you can read them all individually. However, there is one character that pops up in every single book. Again, you don't necessarily have to have read the other books to know him, but I would say after reading this book, which is exciting, you I would say, have to read the standalone Warbreaker before reading this. You don't have to, you can read it after and still kind of get it, but there is something that pops up in this that is from that book, and that's the first kind of touching on one of the other worlds, like significant touching, I would say, which is exciting because I'm really confused about how they all connect together. They all connect together. I know their magic system is based off shards. Each magic system is different though, so it's like evolved differently or something. I don't know. I need to research it, but I don't want to research it until I've finished everything that's been published so far, so that I don't spoil anything. But that's exciting. So I was just reading Warbreaker, which was one of my favourite books in the whole cosmere, so I don't think that's a hardship. If you like Brandon Sanderson, I think you'll like that. So I am thoroughly enjoying this. It has got some turns in it. It's got some, I don't know, it's just got everything in it. He's just like up to his game in this book, I think. So it's great. I am planning to finish this by Friday or on Friday, and then move on to reading, I think, the next book in the Bone season. I might change my mind because I tend to be like a mood reader, but that is what I am planning on reading at the moment in this vlog. So that's the plan. I'm gonna read hopefully 100 or more pages a day of this. Yesterday I managed to read quite a lot, which I was happy about. It is mainly because I'm procrastinating doing uni work. But I've had really bad headaches as well the last like week or so. Not like really bad, but like just constant headache, and it's made me struggle to like read off computer screens, which mainly essay writing is because all your like secondary readings on the computer screen. So I've been struggling to actually do my uni work, or like not feeling like I want to push through uni work, which is why I've been reading this, because it's easier on my head. But that seems to be less so today. It's also made me realise how much I frown. I frown all the time, and that's like, I can tell when I'm frowning now because it gives me more of a headache. So I'm like trying to relax the face. But yeah, I'm babbling now. So that's the plan. I'm really enjoying this. I would highly recommend if you're into high fantasy. I think it's also one of the funniest books that he's written, which is great. I like a funny book. I like fantasy with a bit of humour. Otherwise it's just a little bit heavy, you know? Yeah, I'll see you later. Everything is going to shit in this book. I don't know if I can cope. That's it. That's the update. I don't think I can do it. It's all just going wrong. Wish me luck. Hello and welcome back to the vlog that you've been watching. I hope you can see my eyes properly. My glass is a bit reflected, but there you go. It's Friday and I finished Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, the third book in the Stormlight Archive series, and it was phenomenal. The best book in the series, I think, so far. I think my order so far is Oathbringer, Way of Kings, then Words of Radiance. Just because I think I don't know, I didn't like Words of Raisins as much. I think it was just maybe, I don't know, my mindset as well. I listen to most of it on audiobook as well, so I don't know. I just don't tend to connect to books as well if I read them first on audiobook. Don't know why. It's just a fact of my reading style. But it was the best book. I laughed so much. The humor, I mean, it's not like overly funny, like it's not like constantly just like, you wouldn't call it a comedy book, but there's just like little snippets of like humor that break up the kind of big tensions of the book, because it is quite a heavy fantasy. Like, I was thinking last night, like quite a lot of fantasy, or like YA fantasy anyway, like Throne of Glass. I was thinking if you like romance and stuff, you'd also like that. You don't necessarily have to love fantasy to love those books. Whereas I feel like Brandon Sanderson, you definitely have to love fantasy as a genre to be able to love them. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it was just one of my random thoughts of last night. And just the little bits of humour really helped to kind of just enjoy the book more. And they're like really like shoddy jokes as well, like totally my humour, and things that probably most people won't find funny unless you've got like a really dodgy sense of humour like I do. But I thought they were funny. We saw a little bit of Lift as well at the end there, and I just loved her. I hope she becomes more of a main character further on in the series. Someone commented on my video last week and said she's got a kind of interlude. So these books are split into like 4 or 5 parts, and in between the parts they have like 3 or 4 chapters that are from, they wouldn't even be classed as secondary characters, like third characters, that you tend to only see just pop up, and they have like just a little chapter just dedicated for them and their journey, which is quite nice. So apparently she has one of them, so I'm excited for that. But I am so tempted to carry on with the next book in this series, just because I'm not quite ready to be out of it, even though this did feel like the end of like a journey. Obviously there's still loads to go, but I think Brandon Sanderson, I could have made this up, said that his books are written in kind of threes, like in this series. So even though it's like a 9-10 book series, they're like kind of mini, like they have a story arc within them. Like, I don't know, I'm not explaining this very well, but they are kind of like you have a beginning, middle, and end, and then a beginning, middle, and end of a grand beginning, middle, and end. Did that make sense? Probably not, but I think he said that. I also could have made it up, but there we go. So I am very tempted to read on, but I'm just loving too many series at the moment and it's stressing me out. I want to read them all, but I've decided I will take a break because I do think it's such a heavy and long book. Like, it's 1,390 words or pages or something like that. So it's not a little boy. He's chunky. So I think I'll take a break. The next book is also massive, obviously, because it's Brandon Sanderson. So I think I will take a break and just let my mind kind of recuperate and be ready to like fall in love with the next book as well, and not feel like I've just overindulged in the world, which I think I maybe did with the second book because I read it straight after the first book. I've decided to continue on with the Bone Season, surprise surprise, and that is with the Mime Order. So this, I don't think I'll finish it. It's 500 pages, so I probably won't finish it within this vlog, but I'm hoping to get most of it read and then continue on with next week's vlog. So this is the second book in the Bone Season. If you don't know, the Bone Season follows this girl called Paige who lives in kind of an alternate London where clairvoyancy, ghosts, and the kind of other spiritual dimension is very close, and she can interact with them, and there's different types of clairvoyance within this world. And in the first book, she's actually kidnapped and taken away to Oxford, which is this derelict now city, run by these extra, I don't know, alternate parallel universe world creatures that look like humans, but they got like different blood, and they're like kind of got vampire vibes. They do drink blood. They're not vampires, they are, I don't know what they're called, I can't remember, but there's definitely like, I don't know, vampire stuff going on, but they're not vampires. And she discovers this whole other universe that's kind of to do with it, and yeah, I'm excited to get on with this. I don't know where it's gonna go because it kind of ended with a like kind of quite finite ending. Like, it didn't really end on a cliffhanger, well, semi cliffhanger, but I don't know the direction it's going in. So I'll be interested to continue on with the series and see how it goes. So I'll catch up with you. I got a Viennese well, which they're just amazing, and I'm gonna read some of my book, and then yeah, that's the plan. Now that is a chill looking cat. You alright there? On my new clean bedding? You good? Good. Hello and good morning. It's currently Sunday morning and I thought I'd come up with an update. I meant to update you last night, but I didn't, and now we're here. So I was trying to be like a super on top of it booktuber and read like super fast and read 1 million pages a day, because I kind of secretly wanted to be able to finish this in this vlog. That's not gonna happen. I thought, you know what, I actually do have to live a life. I spent pretty much all of yesterday reading and I managed to read 150 pages. So I didn't spend the entire day. I stopped about 9 o'clock at night and I had about 4 hours in the middle of the day to go to the library and do uni work. So not the entire day, but the rest of my spare time was basically spent reading. I'm quite a slow reader. I know people whiz through these things, but yeah. So I'm halfway through the Mime Order. What are my thoughts? My thoughts are this took a long time to get going. This book, like, it was like the 200 page mark where it finally got to a point where I was like, this is where I wanted to be near the start. It was a lot of build up, a lot of like toing and froing and back and forth, and nothing really happened for about 150 pages, I would say. Like, I don't know, I just thought where it finished off at the end of the last book, 2 of the characters were separated and they were the 2 characters I was kind of there for, and they only just reunited like at the 200 page mark, 250 page mark. So that was kind of a little bit of a bummer. I mean, it's obviously, I don't know, I just wasn't like, there just wasn't anything in those 200 pages that I necessarily wanted to read. I don't know, but I think that's maybe my reading style or like my personal preference. Like, I don't know why, but ghosts and things just aren't really for me. I think that's why I didn't really like Ninth House by Leah Bardugo, because it's all about like ghosts. I don't know why. Dragons, I'm there for. Ghosts, it's just not my thing. Don't know why. It's like sci-fi. Sci-fi is just not my thing. Don't know why. But I feel like it should be, because I like fantasy and witches and werewolves and dragons and weird spren from the Stormlight Archive. But yeah, so I think that's why, like, I'm not very interested in that side of it, which is mainly what the first like 200 pages was all about, the world of London and how the clairvoyancy works in the underground. Yeah, so I just feel like there could have been more action, like developmental plot action in the first 200 pages. Like, things did happen, and I might be proven wrong, like they might all be building up to the next half of the book, but it just felt like nothing that went on, or very little of what went on, was actually for the benefit of the plot and not just for a heck of a lot of background. I don't know, I feel like I'm being really critical. So yeah, so at the moment it's probably like a 3-star read. It could all change in the next half, and I'm excited to see how it goes. I just wish there was a little bit more romance. Now, I'm not normally a romance reader, but the reason I'm reading the series is for the romance at the moment, and it's just not been there. So I think that's maybe why. I was expecting more of that kind of like YA romance, fantasy romance that you get from like Throne of Glass and Six of Crows, that like underlining romance, but it's not been there, which is fine. It's just not been there. So I'm gonna go read and see how I can do, and then I'll update you before the end of the vlog. Bye. Hello. This is really squint, isn't it? Is it squint? I don't know. Hello. So it is Monday morning and I didn't update you again yesterday because I always say that, but I always do my reading in the evening, or I tend to do my reading in the evening, so then I can't bother to film when it's like really dark and so I never do update you on the last Sunday, but I'm updating you on the Monday instead. I didn't actually end up reading that much more of the Mime Order. I wasn't feeling it yesterday. I managed to get up just under 90, just under 50 pages. So yeah, I need to get back in the reading zone. But I did finish on audiobook. If you remember, I think 2 vlogs ago, I started listening to the Stephen Fry narration of the complete works of the Sherlock Holmes, and I raved about his narration. I just think he's got such a good narrator voice. Like, One, it is sentimental for me because that's what I kind of grew up on listening to when I had the Harry Potter audiobooks. That's what like we used to listen to go to bed and stuff when I was a kid. So like sentimental wise, he's got it, but his voice is just also perfect for narration, and he really tells it like a story. He makes it sound more interesting than it would be if I read it with my own voice, because I think it is a Victorian text, so often like I find with classical texts from that period I struggle to get the kind of humour aspect from it, because a lot of them are actually meant to be quite funny, but when I read it I'm not able to kind of input that side to it or pick up on that side to it. So having it narrated to you by someone who can is really helpful, and it really kind of like makes it. And the first book is The Study in Scarlet, and it's really funny. It's in 2 parts. The first part is kind of the investigation, and then they find out who it is, and then the next part it starts going on and talking about these Mormons in Salt Lake City, and like it goes on for like 5 chapters, and you're like, is this just a whole new book? Like it had no introduction, it just kind of went into it, and I was like, this is really weird. It was reminding me of like something I'd have read for like GCSE, like Of Mice and Men and that kind of thing. But it was very weird, and then it did link up with the main storyline, so that was fine. So that was The Study in Scarlet, and I really actually quite enjoyed it. It is very similar to, if you've seen the BBC series that was like relatively new, with it was like a few years ago now, but with Benedict Cumberbatch. It's very similar to the first episode of that. They've clearly taken it and just modernised it for the setting. Have we seen Leo this vlog? Huh? We need a lot of Leo, apparently. Very close to the camera there, mate. I don't know what I would rate it. Maybe like a 3.5 star, because the narration is amazing, and I think it is really good, and I think I will enjoy the rest of them. I just wonder if I read it myself I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. I think I am loving it for the narration and the storyline and detective aspect of it. I think just well, I think what it was I thought I'd finish it with part 1 because it went on to a completely different thing. So then I kind of left it for ages, like a couple of days, before I then listened to the rest of it. And then by that point I'd forgotten the part 1, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. I didn't remember a lot of it because I have the memory of a sieve, but I did enjoy it, and I would really recommend this if you've got a credit, because it was like meant to be at £60, and it's like 70 hours of watch hours, so you're getting a lot of bang for your $8.99 whatever it is that you pay a month. That's all I have to say really for this vlog. Next vlog I'm going to be finishing the Mime Order, and then depending on how this finishes, either continuing on with the series or a different series, so maybe the 5th season. I got Legendborn on my TBR, The Lies of Locke Lamore, Assassin's Apprentice, so my TBR has got some really good books on it that I'm very excited to get to this month, and I'll see what they are when I finish this book. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. If you would like to see more videos, more reading vlogs, that kind of thing, please subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out, and I will hopefully see you in the next video very shortly.